We bought this home about 2 years ago, and one of the things we loved the most about it was the fact that the kitchen was old and needed to be redone, but it didn't have to be done immediately. So now, 2 years down the road, we are beyond ready to have our disaster of a kitchen redone, and that's what brings us here today. So I originally met Jerry 2 years ago when we purchased this home. And we knew, as I said, that we were eventually going to have to do the rebuild of the kitchen. We also have bathrooms that have to be done. But he was kind enough to come out just to look at a support beam in our basement to let us know what we needed to do in order to get that fixed. And from the moment that I met him, I knew that he was the person that I wanted to work with, and my husband felt the same. So when we came to this large project finally happening, he was the first person that I called. And he came out, and I had the same feeling with him the second time coming out that I did the first. He's incredibly knowledgeable, and of all the gentlemen who came out to look at my home, I can tell you I have an old home and it has a lot of quirks to it, and he was the one person that didn't seem nervous, that didn't seem that there didn't seem like there was anything that he couldn't do. It was the confidence that he instilled in me that let me know that he was the guy for the job. I don't want to give a job to somebody who I feel like is going to be worried that something isn't going to happen. He's going to make it happen, and he definitely instills that confidence in you that he's the guy. So when it came to making the design for the kitchen, he let me know that Joe was available to come and give me do a design build project, because we really had no idea what we wanted to do with this space. It's a tricky space to use. We were toying with the idea of where to put the washing machine. Should we leave it down here, doing a small bump out? So when Joe came with Jerry, it was the dream team that they were able to put everything that we wanted and make it happen, really to make it come alive. So we cannot wait for the project to begin, and especially for the finished project. Welcome to my kitchen. Here are the lovely, right on cue, you can hear my clicking stove. If you can only imagine that going off at 6 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to make your morning tea, and it doesn't stop. All day long it will click. I've had it checked by, I would say at least 6 times by varying appliance repair people, and they tell me that unfortunately it is just a quirk with the stove. It is not dangerous, so I just have lived with it for 2 years. So here is, we believe this is the star of the show in our kitchen, but as you can see directly underneath is probably its supporting cast, starting by the oven, which, as I said, has to have I've actually gone through 3 thermometers because it is so miscalibrated that I swear I don't know whether it burns through the thermometer or what, but it runs about between 20 and 30 degrees hot at varying times. This particular panel, I'm not quite sure why or what is the situation, but there are mornings where I come down and it is completely black. There are mornings when I come down and the pixels are just all confusing and messed up. So what I have to do is trudge down to my basement, all the way down the stairs, around the corner, through the paint jars, to my fuse box, flip the switch, count to 10, flip it back on, and then miraculously it is fixed. I don't know why, but I'm thankful that it is. Now, directly north of the star of the show is the microwave we discussed earlier, which at times, you can see, it looks perfectly presentable. And for the most part it is, I'd say with the exception of 10 to 20% of the time when it just doesn't do anything. Okay, here is our friend, the refrigerator, which I like to think is probably the ugliest refrigerator known to man. If you had only seen it before my husband painted it about a year ago, this entire part was rusted brown. You can see it starting to come back here. This used to be perfectly painted, but it's starting to come back in all its glory. As a matter of fact, if you do open up the freezer, actually the refrigerator, you can see there it is. That's not dirt, that's not stuff that I have not cleaned, that is pure rust of the refrigerator. So as you can also see, more recently than not, our lovely refrigerator has stopped having a light in it. I have had it checked by appliance repair people. The situation is not because it has a burnt light bulb, because I have tried that. The situation is because it has a fuse that needs to be replaced, which would cost about a couple of $100 by the time they get the part and they come back and they put it in. That being said, this refrigerator probably isn't worth $10. So therefore, I am not going to replace that light and and we will have to live with it for the next few months until Jerry comes in and does his magic. So after trying just about everything I could to get this to work, I was in a full panic because of course there was an entire load full of dirty dishes. I did my last resort. It was definitely with frustration. I slammed it shut, I locked it, I pressed the button, and I hip checked it, and it works. Oh, hi. Here's my bathroom. That is probably, I'd say, maybe even beats the stove in when I'm discussing my least favorite things about this house. I hate it so much because of, first of all, its appearance. What could be uglier than this brown tile, this bizarrely small sink? The toilet is okay, but this strange little convoluted mess over here that is called our bathroom. My least favorite thing about it is I can't tell you the amount of times I've been washing my hands and the direct shot that I have to the mailman or any other person coming in. You can see my front entryway. There it is for everybody to see. You can even see the mailman just came. So he just missed me in the bathroom today. It is the bane of my existence, and I can't wait to find this bathroom anew. Wouldn't it be nice if I could actually go into my living room directly from my kitchen without having to zigzag around all these crazy walls? Well, it would be nice, but the problem is this wall is in my way. Is anybody over there? Well, yes, I am over here, and I'm just as frustrated as you are because I want to be able to go into the kitchen. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to have a beautiful doorway right here so we can actually access the kitchen from the living room from the kitchen without any trouble. So I think it is safe to say, now that you've heard my sad story, that it is definitely time for us to redo this kitchen. I am not going to be sad at all to say goodbye to my friends, the dishwasher, the stove, the oven, the refrigerator, the floor, the chairs, anything. I will be happy to say goodbye and cannot wait to kick these to the curb.